There have been several murders that have scandalized Marquette over the past 175 years, but one that drew an outsized share of attention is coming up on its 100th anniversary when an ex-con named Roy Nunn killed 2 state conservation officers in cold blood. Richard Roy Nunn had been in and out of Michigan prisons most of his adult life. He had already been convicted of first-degree murder and was serving a life sentence in Jackson when he was pardoned by then Governor Ferris. He moved to the UP, where he ended up serving an additional 6-year sentence at Marquette for stealing gold fixtures from a church in Negaunee. Following his release from that, he got a job doing watch repairs in Marquette. On September 29, 1926, Nunn and a friend, Joseph Contois, went out to the Sands Plains to both visit a female friend and, as it turns out, do a little out-of-season deer hunting. 2 state conservation officers, Arvid Erickson and Emil Skoglund, caught Nunn and Contois in the act and pulled their car over to question them. Nunn claimed that he can show them proof of his innocence in the trunk of his car, which he then opened, pulled out a pistol, and shot both officers dead. Contois ran away while Nunn went back to the home of the female friend like nothing had happened. When Erickson and Skoglund, the 2 conservation officers, failed to return home, a search ensued with authorities following many leads, most of them not panning out. It wasn't until almost a month later that Contois, affected by a guilty conscience, told another conservation officer what had happened. Nunn was then arrested, claiming innocence. For the next several days, the Mining Journal told the story about how Nunn wouldn't crack, saying that he didn't commit the crimes of which he was being accused, and naming other people that he claimed had killed the 2 officers. Eventually, though, on October 22, 1926, Nunn did crack, telling authorities that he had shoved the bodies of Erickson and Skoglund in the trunk of his car and had eventually dumped them off the end of the Spear merchandise dock in Marquette's Lower Harbor. Divers found their bodies, and Nunn's trial on the 2 murder charges began in early December. That trial only ran a few days, with Nunn speaking on his own behalf for over 3 hours, claiming various reasons as to why he shouldn't be blamed for the killings. However, the jury rendered a very quick guilty verdict, and Nunn was sentenced to 2 life terms in the Marquette Branch Prison, where he lived out the rest of his life before dying of a heart attack in the spring of 1948. Arvid Erickson and Emil Skoglund were the first 2 state conservation officers killed in the line of duty. They're honored on, among other things, the National Law Enforcement Memorial in Washington, D.C., as well as the Michigan DNR website and a plaque at the DNR office in Marquette.